I'm Jon Snow. No, not that Jon Snow. I live here now. It just happens my name is Jon Snow. Now you might be asking yourself, why am I listening to you, Jon Snow, who's not Jon Snow? And I will tell you, the thing you need to know about Jon Snow, who's not Jon Snow, is what I've seen from the other side of life. Sort of like Jon Snow, except I'm not Jon Snow. I'm Jon Snow, who's not Jon Snow. What I have seen from the other side of life. What I have seen from death is life. The view of life from death is life. This is what life looks like after seeing death. What you're experiencing right now. What you're hearing right now. What you feel and think right now is life after death. I have seen the other side. I have seen life from death. And it looked exactly like life, but from the perspective of death. The perspective of life from death is three-dimensional. From death, you can see life in one dimension as a whole. All of time as one. All things as one. Massive thing. Life. All of it. Forever, for all time, everywhere. You're outside of it, so you can see all that as one. So, too, you can see any aspect of life as one. The same way you can see the shimmer of the sun across the ocean, and also focus in on the glimmer of one wave, and within that glimmer, focus in on a facet of sheen of that one glimmer on that one wave of the whole reflection of the sun upon the ocean. As singular as an individual life from beginning to end, and fully realized, seen, and experienced, that too is available from the perspective of death. From the perspective of death, all is one, and each individual one is fully all of itself, fully realized. That is what life looks like from death. I'm Jon Snow. That's not Jon Snow, who saw death and came back. I'm Jon Snow, not Jon Snow, who has seen of death and looked back. I have experiences of how that perspective affects my life, but who cares? I do, deeply care that the perspective I've been given by death has enhanced my life. But I cannot give you that. That's mine. I can only tell you, the more things you let die within yourself about yourself, the closer you will come to that perspective. And sometimes you may get all the way over to that perspective for just a flash, a beat, a moment, an episode, a fleeting thing or experienced, perhaps caused by love or drugs, or meditation or chanting or fasting, or sheer God-given divine luck. If you can hold that perspective beyond the flash of experiencing it and being awed by it, if you can hold that perspective from death to life in all those dimensions, so you behold yourself with that specificity and fullness, and yourself within the whole. If you can hold that view while holding this view from inside the individual life, out through the all, into death. Death, infinite void, finite matter. Looking out toward it, while from out of it, it looks inward to it. Hold those 2 points of view simultaneously, of living inside the paradox, of being paradigm-less, truly staying alive. Those are 2 opposites. The view from death to life and the view from life to death that you can hold fully, so that experience, existence, becomes the dance within the space between those points of view as they intersect, meaning as they communicate. What? What are you talking about, Jon Snow, who's not Jon Snow? What could possibly be communicating? You're talking about perspectives, not separate entities, unless the structure of you, like an atom to a galaxy, is the same as the structure as everything else, just on a different scale. You are integrated into the broader structure, and the more microscopic structure is embedded to you in the same forms. You are just a reflection of it. It all created the human structure the way it created all the other structures. It's the same structure, that perspective of death to life and life to death. So you might wonder and ask Jon Snow, who's not Jon Snow, what do you mean when you say a conversation? Hello, Selenium, the cat who lives with me here in the future. and wants to be part of the conversation and continues to be part of the conversation, even as we talk about the intersection, the conversation of perspectives, as if they're entities, as if they're two beings communicating, even though they're only facets of one's experience. In the case of death looking at life and life looking at death, what does it mean for those two to have a conversation, to intersect those perspectives? What it means is a willingness to tip and flow with what is a fundamental shift in one's bearing of the world. When those two are intersecting right there in the middle, your whole internal structure might flip from all to one, one to all, all to one. So in that place where that is happening, if you can get it there so that when it flips completely, that is a conversation between those perspectives, an interaction, an intersection. And in that space is you. You become the living barometer of what life is in relation to death. Death meaning the thing which gives life. Out of nothing, something. There is no thing without its opposite, which is no thing. This is defined by the absence of itself over here. We are all made whole by the existence of nothing, allowing itself to be the backdrop for all things something. That is what your life then can be. This living, constant awareness of both poles, and yourself is the middle point. Balance, meaning the act of staying in the middle. That if one pulls this way, this comes here, and you don't go all the way or all the way. You don't get rigid in your belief of what life is. You always allow death to be a perspective upon it. Really, truly, deeply. So you don't need structures or preachers or sermons or televisions or talking heads or Bibles of any kind or sort. You won't need them to fully appreciate life and to taste, smell, see, experience, and envision it as divinely as possible, as an agent of divine creation. That is available when you let go of everything you believe life to be, which you can do with a perspective from death, which only you can find. I cannot tell you how you can do it. I can give you anecdotes about how I did it that may or may not ring anything loose for you. There is no reason they should, though it is always my hope they might. You will have to look yourself for what shakes you loose, and then you will have to come to understand that what you learned shook you loose becomes something else you are beholden to over time, and with it a culture will develop, and a community will develop, and expectations will develop, and ambitions and goals and judgments will develop about the thing that once shook you loose, and you will fall for the illusion of believing you're loose because you once got shook loose, and now you're doing all the right things about it. You will become rigid and lost. You will learn that by doing that, inevitably. And then you'll get to the other side of that pattern and think, I fall for shake loose things. I have to watch out for that. And that's one right there. And you'll dismiss it. And you'll be back to not having any idea what's happening. I have no idea at this moment how the infinite void known as death produces my current moment in all of its specificity without ever stopping, constantly reconfiguring the entire universe down to every quark in an atom and all the space between them. Always, infinitely at all time. That is what is going on right now. That is your present moment. That is my present moment. That is certainly the cat's present moment. So, with a monologue... Moof! What? You think I'm going to buy that? That was whining. Yeah, it is too. What about the bark thing again? Did you try... more of a straightforward yell. Oh, okay. I'll be right there, son. Yeah, I'll be right there. That is available to you to find if you let go of everything you think about what you are. You can start to shake it loose. And in so doing, you will come to find that perspective. And to get that perspective, to shake it loose, you may find that you have to get closer to losing things than you like. I pray you don't have to lose anything. Though if you have or do lose someone or something in this world of the greatest value to you, know from this other side's perspective. That is a final parting gift. It is designed for you. It is very hard to shake the foundational paradigms of this structure. They have been there for maybe 1 million years in the Homo sapien. So the base ones are very hard to reach. Sometimes life has to bring us right to death to do it. Right to our own death to the edge, or losing people we love. That is the gift of death. It can shake you like no other thing. And in shaking you, it can release you from the bonds of the paradigms of time. And you can experience life more fully. You can let it shake you so much that you see life from its perspective. That's a gift that was given by someone's passing. It's a monumental-sized gift available to us all. So that's how you can navigate toward your own perspective of dueling opposites. Jon Snow is having a meltdown. It's fantastic. It is epic in scope when you have a true breakdown, not of your faculties, not of the structure of the system, the integrity of what's happening internally, but a total breakdown of the repetitious projections, the habits of mind, the conditionings that are constantly firing. To get out of that is amazing and disorienting because we're habituated to have no idea what to do or say. You can have all these different pairs of opposites that you're living between, and that is risky. It feels risky not to know who you are at the same time as you simultaneously hold the idea of who you are, because it's who you want to be, what you want to be. That and its opposite, I have no idea at any given moment who I am. The nameless, faceless sense of me. I am not Jon Snow. The feeling of that, the broadness, expansiveness, the way it feels like your innards are connecting out in an infinite number of tendrils to a sphere and attaching, and that sphere is pulsing as a singularity and in touch through all its members, fibers, with the void, with the other side, with death. You feel life and death like this, dancing an infinite number of strings through you. To hold that space, and to hold, I am Jon Snow. How many times do I have to tell you? Not that Jon Snow. I'm Jon Snow, not Jon Snow. I have an identity. And in that identity, in the relishing of the experience of my being as a singularity, an individuality, a unique blend of all things, something specific to all history and time happening right here and now. This thing, never been seen before, never will be again, never life conscious from this exact moment, from this place. Moment to moment, I am always on the threshold of newness as me. That kind of experience with the other totally spatial, I am not me experience. That is where you can hold yourself, by holding your opposites in truth, allowing them to rise and reconnect into the great sphere you're a part of. I am Jon Snow. I have seen the other side. I have words to bring back to you. 1, I'm not that Jon Snow. 2, I'm Jon Snow, who went to the other side, came back and has something to tell you. And by other side, I don't mean anything more than my other side. The same other side you have. A place accessible to each of us fully and wholly. Not some special sacred place that you can be judged for getting closer or further from. No. Something only for you. The everything of the other side.